everybody. Welcome to my online class. I'm recording this class specifically for the Life Center, the soft flow class that I usually teach there on Mondays, and then anyone else who wants to join. Apologies, I have these crazy dogs at my house, so we'll just kind of be working with them throughout our practice. Hopefully they won't bug us too much. So we'll go ahead and get started. You won't need any props. If you do have blocks at home that you're able to use, then that would be great. If you don't, then I won't cue with them. You won't absolutely need them. They're not necessary. So all you need is your yoga mat. And then if you want to turn on some music for yourself, go ahead. And then find a comfortable seated position. So sit up nice and tall, lengthen through your spine, lengthen through the back of your neck. Be intentional with where you place your arms, so you can rest your hands just down by your sides, hands in your lap. Or if you want, bring your hands to your heart center, or even one hand to your heart space, one hand to your low belly. And take these first couple of moments to just become more present and more grounded. So whatever you've got going on in your day, let all of that for now just fall away. Be right here with your body and with your breath. If there is a specific intention that you would like to bring into your practice today, take just a moment to complete your thoughts. It can be as simple as one word, it can be a sentence, a mantra, an idea, and it doesn't have to make sense to anybody else but you. And then next time you inhale, fill up as big as you can. Think of breathing in that intention. Move it into all the little spaces inside your body. And then exhale, big open mouth sigh. And just send it out into the universe, share it. We'll take a couple more big breaths. So inhale, fill up. Hold at the top. Sip in a little more. Exhale, open mouth sigh, let it go. And then one more time, big inhale. See if you can grow taller through your spine, take up more space, hold. Exhale, release through your mouth. Seal your lips gently and start to bring in your Ujjayi breath. So in and out through your nose by way of the back of your throat. And start to create that whisper noise, that oceanic sound. Sounds like wind moving through trees. And then whenever you're ready, no rush, we're just going to bring in a little bit of mindful movement. So keep your breath moving and flowing. Keep it big and spacious and deep. And each time you inhale, reach your arms to the sky. Turn your pinky fingers in to face each other. Each time you exhale, palms face out. And think of reaching out as far as you can. And then bring your hands down by your sides. So a few rounds just like that. Inhale to reach up, pinky fingers spin in. And exhale, palms face out, reach out, and then arms by your sides. So notice just with this simple movement, how do you compromise with the rest of your body in order to create this movement? So as you reach up, do you tend to round through your spine or do you tend to press your ribs forward? As you bring your arms down, what happens in your shoulders or your neck? So just get curious and start to notice where you might have some imbalances. Start to notice where your more mobile places are and how you compensate with them. Notice what you do with your fingers. Are they spreading actively or are they just soft? Do you tend to keep your fingers together? And if so, maybe try spreading them. Do you tend to spread your fingers? And if so, maybe try bringing them together. Just see how it feels. Get curious. Take about 3 more rounds. Make this a moving meditation. So if this was all we did for the next hour, could you keep it interesting? Could you find things to notice? Can you keep coming back to what's going on inside your body? Next time you breathe in, fill up as big as you can and reach your arms to the sky. This time exhale, bring your right hand to the ground by your side. Crawl your right fingertips over to the right, bend your right elbow a little bit so your forearm gets closer to the ground, and then reach, stretch, and lengthen through your left side body. Keep both sit bones rooted, and breathe down your left side. Soften through your face, unclench your jaw. Take one more great big huge breath. And then at the end of your exhale, bring your left hand to your right knee. Lengthen your spine, so sit up nice and tall. Bring your right hand behind you, or right fingertips behind you, and twist. Gaze back over your right shoulder. So that you can feel your breath move all the way down into your belly. Take 2 more full rounds. And then end of your next exhalation, slowly unwind. Inhale, both arms to the sky, reach up. Exhale, left hand to the ground. Crawl your left fingertips over to the left. Bend your left elbow, forearm a little closer to the earth. And then reach, stretch, and lengthen through your right side. Breathe into the space in between your right ribs and in your right waistline. Face soft. You can gaze up if you want to, or you can just let your neck relax and your head be heavy. Big deep breaths, 1 more round. At the end of your exhale, right hand to your left knee. Lengthen your spine, sit up tall. Bring your left hand or left fingertips to the ground behind you and twist. Gaze back over your left shoulder. Use your arms as gentle leverage. Breathe down into your belly. Take 1 more round. Use your exhale to twist to your edge. And then end of your exhalation, unwind, arms reach up 1 more time. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart center, come back to your intention. As you're ready, transition forward onto your hands and your knees. So find your tabletop position. Wrists underneath your shoulders and knees underneath your hips. Start to move through your cat-cow undulations. So as you inhale, lift the crown of your head, lift your tailbone, spread your front ribs, and squeeze the bottom tips of your shoulder blades. As you exhale, round your spine, hollow out your belly, and curl in. Inhale, arch. As you arch, think of pulling your hands back towards your knees. And exhale, round. And as you round, press your hands down and forward. Press the earth away. So go back and forth a couple more times and make these movements as big and as exaggerated as possible, rather than just moving through them mindlessly. See if you can find more mobility than usual. See if you can find more mobility in the middle of your spine. And then after a couple more rounds, couple more breaths, come back to a neutral spine and sit back into a child's pose. Knees can be nice and wide or knees together. Hips towards your heels, forehead rest down on your mat. Take about 3 deep breaths, just grounding, feeling the ground underneath you, feeling your connection to it. Breathe into your back body. And then as you're ready, we'll meet in downward facing dog. So absolutely no rush, but in your own time, find your way back to our first downward facing dog practice. So make sure you spread your fingers nice and wide. Grip the ground with the pads of your fingertips. Tuck your toes, lift your knees, lift your hips. Take a few deep breaths to explore this first down dog. So it might feel really good to keep a deep bend in your knees. Just focus on lengthening from your fingertips all the way up to your hips. Might feel good to pedal out your heels or shift your weight from side to side.
If you have really tight shoulders, you can kind of move your shoulders from side to side as well and see if you can find a stretch there. Perhaps shake your head yes or no. So in down dog, the primary focus is to finally lengthen your spine to get the rounding out of your back. So in order to do that, if you need to bend your knees a lot, then please do so. Once you have that, you can start to press your heels closer to the ground, but don't lose the length in your spine. Can you feel your breath, and is it still big and spacious? Is it still flowing through your body? Take one more big inhale, fill up. And then as you exhale, just slowly crawl your hands to the back of your yoga mat. Find yourself in a forward fold. So all the weight is now in your feet. Feet a little bit wider than your hips, all 10 toes face forward. Grab opposite elbows and take a ragdoll pose. So let your upper body be very heavy, let your head be heavy and your neck relax. Bend your knees a little bit or a lot. And try to bring your weight slightly forward so you're not rocking back into your heels. Imagine there are 2 strings attached to your 2 sit bones and they're pulling up towards the ceiling. So think of lifting your butt up towards the sky. Maybe sway or swing a little bit or bob up and down. Send your breath up your spine, up your back body and all the way down the backs of your legs. Take one more full round. End of your exhale, release your elbows. Inhale to a halfway lift spinal extension, so lots of length. Back of your neck nice and long. Exhale, bow, fold in. Do that twice more with your breath. Inhale to a halfway lift. Ground reaches forward, tops of your thighs press back, sit bones broaden. Exhale, fold. And then last time, inhale, lift halfway. See if you can create a line of tension down the backs of your legs by trying to lift your sit bones towards the sky. Exhale, fold, and then as slow as you can, roll up to stand. So think very, very slow, one vertebra at a time. Let your arms and your head hang heavy. And then without reaching your arms up this time, stack your neck and then eventually your head. Arms down by your sides. Take a few rolls with your shoulders. So roll your shoulders up, back, and down. And let your arms just settle. Shoulders roll back and down. Turn your palms open to face forward. Stand for a moment in mountain pose, so arms down by your sides, just standing tall, standing well. Find your breath. Take a great big inhale, fill up as big as you can. Stand even taller. Exhale, side out. Ujjayi breath. Inhale, arms to the sky, reach. Exhale, heart lead, slow swan dive down, forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift, spinal extension, lots of length. And exhale, bow, fold back in. Root through your feet, your choice, roll or reverse swan dive all the way up. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, hands to heart. Again, just like that, inhale, high mountain. Stretch tall and see if you can reach up without pressing your ribs forward. Exhale, slow swan dive down. Try to lift your sit bones up towards the ceiling as you dive. Bend your knees if you feel it in your low back. Inhale to a halfway lift, nice and long. Exhale, fold. Root through your feet and slowly rise. Inhale to stretch your arms up. Maybe spread your fingers. Maybe be soft through your fingers. Up to you. Just be intentional. Exhale, hands to heart. This time, inhale, take your arms up. Grab your left wrist with your right hand. Pull your left arm up. And then shift your hips to the left as you reach up and over to the right. Take a couple deep breaths down your left side body. See
See if you can bring more weight into your left foot and shift your hips more to the left. Next time you breathe in, come back to center. Switch your grip, grab your right wrist, pull up, and then over to the left as you move your hips to the right. So more weight in your right foot and reach your hips over to the right. Breathe. Think of pulling your right shoulder blade back and down as you tug with your left arm. Take 2 more rounds. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, bring your hands behind your back and interlace your fingers. Roll your shoulders back and down. If you want more intensity, see if you can press your palms together like they're suction cupped, and then squeeze your elbows towards each other. Now, try not to lock out your elbows and start to reach your hands away from your body, back behind you. So you should feel that stretch in the front of your heart. Notice if your belly and your hips have come forward, tone your low belly, neutralize your pelvis. Take one more big inhale, option to lift your chest up, reach your knuckles down, keep your hands clasped, and exhale, slowly dive down, forward fold. Stay here for about 3 breaths with your fingers interlaced. Bend your knees as much as you need to so you can fully relax your neck, let your head hang. If it's available to you, reach your knuckles higher towards the sky, possibly even forward. Maybe shake your head yes or no. Take 1 more full round. End of your exhale, release your clasp. Inhale to a halfway lift. So fingertips to the front of your shins, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Crawl your hands forward until you're in a plank position. So top of a push-up. You're welcome to bring your knees to the ground. Take an inhale at the top of your push-up, and then exhale to slowly lower. Start with baby cobra. So inhale, lift your chest using back strength. Roll your shoulders back and down. Squeeze shoulder blades towards your spine. Exhale, let it go. Spider-Man cobra. So hands come out nice and wide. Lift to your fingertips. Elbows face the sky. Lift your chest. Breathe in. Exhale, lower down. And then one more back bend. This one is your choice. So inhale, baby cobra, full cobra, up dog. Sphinx if you want. Exhale, release. And then meet on hands and knees, tabletop position. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Take your right arm out to the right, reach it all the way up to the sky. Gaze up, breathe in. As you exhale, thread your right arm underneath you, but don't come down to rest just yet. So your right shoulder hovers above the ground. Inhale, unwind, reach your right arm back up to the sky. We'll do that twice more. Exhale, thread your right arm underneath you. Reach, reach, reach. Use your oblique strength. Inhale, back up. And then last time, exhale, right arm reaches through. Reach as far as you can. Then this time, gently come down to rest on the outside of your shoulder and the outside of your head. You can take this wherever you want. So some options, you can interlace your left fingers with your right fingers and gently kind of tug on your right arm. I like to move my hips to the right as I pull my right arm to the left. You can kind of feel that in your back body. You might wrap your left arm behind your back. You might bring your left fingertips to the ground and really press. So your variation, your expression will be here for about 4 or 5 more breaths. Make them big and deep, slow and steady. See if you can feel your breath expand into your upper back, mid back, and low back. Take 2 more rounds. Bring your left hand back to the ground if it happens to be lifted. And then inhale, unthread your right arm, reach it all the way up to the sky, gaze up. Exhale, set your right hand down.
And then pivot on your right knee. So your right foot comes to the outside of your mat, left leg extends back, open up to a modified side plank, left arm to the sky. Squeeze your outer right butt cheek and press your hips forward, so towards the left side of your mat. Reach your left arm forward towards the front of your mat. Stay here, you're perfect here, or option to float your left leg up. If you floated your left leg up, option to take just little pulses with your left leg, about 3 to 5 rounds. Keep breathing. You can stay here, keep pulsing, or find stillness. Or final option, bend your left knee, reach back, grab hold of your left foot, kick foot into hand, pull hand back into foot, and slowly rotate your heart towards the sky. So gaze up and see if your heart will follow. Shoulder blades hug your spine, breathe down into your belly, spread your toes, take 2 more rounds of breath wherever you're at. So make it as challenging or as restorative as you would like. End of your next exhalation, slowly release, unwind, back to hands and knees. Now listen here, this is very similar to what we just did in our thread the needle, but it's a child's pose variation. So knees come out wide, big toes touch. Take your right arm out to the right, reach it up, breathe in, and then thread your right arm through, but as you do so, hips come back towards your heels and forehead comes down to rest on your mat. Start to crawl your left fingertips further forward and try to press your left armpit closer to the ground. So we're stretching our right shoulder capsule. So hips towards your heels, forehead to your mat. If you want to intensify it, then gaze to the right rather than to the left. So in thread the needle, we're looking to the left. This one, forehead down, or your gaze is to the right. See if you can walk your left hand a little closer to the top of your mat or even off the top edge of your mat. Breathe into your back body. Next time you inhale, come back up to your hands and your knees, tabletop. If it would feel good, maybe you take a couple circles with your right arm through space, just like you're swimming freestyle. And then when you're ready, we'll meet back in downward facing dog, so get there in your own time. Take a few breaths in your down dog. Notice how your right side feels versus your left side. Your right shoulder, your right arm. Take one more big inhale. And this time as you exhale, gaze forward, empty out, step, tiptoe, or hop to the top of your mat. Forward fold. Once you have arrived, inhale to a halfway lift. We're going to pause here this time. Bend your left knee a lot. You want your feet hips width distance apart if they're not already. So bend your left knee a lot. Left fingertips to the ground, or if you have a block, you can use a block. Right arm to the sky, twist. Straighten your right leg as much as you're able to, and gently pull your right hip towards the back of your mat, but stay rooted down through the big toe mound of your right foot. Maybe gaze up at your right fingertips. Take 2 more deep breaths. End of your second exhale, unwind and switch sides. So right knee bends a lot, right fingertips to the ground or right hand to a block, left arm to the sky, twist. Get your left leg as straight as you can. Stay rooted through the big toe mound of your left foot and then pull your left hip towards the back of your mat. Breathe deeply. You can let your head just hang. That's kind of a forest yoga style. Or gaze up at your left fingertips. Use your breath. End of your next exhale, slowly unwind. Inhale one more time, halfway lift. Realign your spine. Exhale, fold. Root through your feet, roll or reverse swan dive all the way up. Inhale, stretch your arms to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center.
All right, inhale, arms reach up. Grab your left wrist with your right hand. Exhale, up and over to the right. Shift your hips to the left. Breathe deeply down your left side body. Inhale, come back to center. And exhale, switch sides. So up and over to the left. Shift your hips to the right. Breathe down your right side. With your next inhale, back to center. This time, exhale, just cactus your arms, lift your heart. Keep your low abdominals toned, your pelvis pretty neutral. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, slow swan dive down, forward fold.
Halfway lift, breathe in.
Exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank or modified plank. Inhale at the top of your push-up. And exhale, slowly lower one strong straight line. Inhale, baby cobra, lift with your back strength. Point your elbows back behind you. Exhale, let it go. Spider-Man cobra, so hands slightly forward of your shoulders, up on your fingertips, elbows face the sky, lift, breathe in. Exhale, lower. And then one more back bend variation, your choice. Baby cobra, full cobra, up dog, sphinx. Exhale, release. And then hands and knees, tabletop. So wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. On an in-breath, take your left arm out to the left, reach it all the way up. And exhale, thread your left arm underneath you, but keep your left shoulder hovering above the ground. Reach, reach, reach. Inhale, lift back up, open back up. Exhale, thread your left arm through. Use your obliques to twist. Reach, hover. Inhale, back up. And then last one, and this time we'll stay. So exhale. Reach your left arm underneath you as far as you can and come down to rest on the outside of your shoulder, outside of your head. You can kind of adjust and move into whatever variation you would like to take, about 5 deep breaths. Big, expansive inhalations and long, strong, steady exhalations all the way to emptiness. See if you can feel your breath expand into your upper back, mid back, low back. If you happen to have your right hand lifted, slowly bring it back to the earth. And then next time you breathe in, unthread your left arm, reach it all the way up, gaze up. Exhale, set your left hand down. Modified side plank. So left foot to the outside of your mat like a little kickstand. Right leg extends back, and then right arm to the sky. Be here for just a moment. Think of suction cupping your right foot to the ground and use the press of your right foot to press your hips forward towards the right side of your mat. Reach your right arm forward. Use the press of your right foot to lengthen your right side body. Stay here if you want, or float your right foot up. Take a couple of breaths here and try those little pulses with your right leg up and down. They're not very big. Keep lengthening, keep breathing. You can stay here and keep pulsing if you want to, or final option, bend your right knee, reach back, grab hold of your right foot, spread your toes, kick foot into hand, pull hand back into foot. See if you can start to rotate your heart towards the sky and let your heart follow. Breathe down into your belly, bottom tips of shoulder blades, squeeze your spine. Fullest expression, 2 more deep breaths wherever you're at.
End of your second exhalation, release, unwind. Back to hands and knees. Bring your knees out wide, big toes touch. Inhale, reach your left arm out to the left all the way up. And then exhale, thread your left arm underneath you, and at the same time, sit your hips back towards your heels, bring your forehead down to your mat. So child's pose variation. Crawl your right fingertips as far forward as you can, and press your right armpit towards the ground. If you want to intensify it a little bit, turn your head to the left. Breathe big and deep. Breathe into your low back. All right, rise up to your hands and your knees. If it would feel good, maybe circle your left arm through space a couple times like you're swimming freestyle, biggest, fullest range of motion. Eventually, we'll meet back in downward facing dog. So get there as you're ready. All right, from your dog pose, inhale your right leg to the sky. And exhale as soft as you can, step your right foot to the top of your yoga mat, lunge. Bring your back knee gently down. So you can either double up your mat for extra cushion, fold over the side, or since you're at home, if you want to grab a blanket and put it underneath your left knee, you're more than welcome to, or even a pillow. Hands up to your front thigh. Walk your front foot forward an inch or two. And then start to lean forward through your lower body like you want to sit your right butt cheek on your right heel. But at the same time, and this is especially for hypermobile people, at the same time, drive your right heel down and think of pulling it back and up towards your right butt cheek. So hips should stay square, low abdominals tone, lift your chest. You can stay here and press into your front thigh or arms to the sky. You can stay here, or final option, and this is just an option, so don't feel like you have to take it. Hands behind your back, interlace your fingers. Roll your shoulders back and down, shoulder blades hug your spine. Start to reach your hands back, and then if it's available to you, lift your heart up as you reach your knuckles down. You don't want to feel it in your low spine, so if you do, either come out of it a little bit or focus on toning your low abdominals. Wherever you're at, about 3 more rounds of breath. If it's too much to have your hands clasped, if it's too much to work into the back bend, then please take a step back. Make sure you can breathe freely. If you have your fingers interlaced, next time you inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, everybody, hands to the inside of your right foot. Walk your right foot out to the width of your yoga mat. You can spin your right toes slightly out to the right if you want. And then start to lower your upper body down, but bring your right side down first. So if you come down to your forearms, right forearm comes down first, and that will keep you from collapsing into your legs. Try to kind of keep leaning to the right rather than over to the left. As soon as you lean to the left, your legs just collapse. You're no longer stretching into the muscles. I like to bring my right forearm down sometimes and then stay up on my left fingertips and kind of press myself to the right. So you can let your hips settle towards the ground as long as you're not leaning over to the left. If it feels good, you might even roll onto the outer edge of your right foot. Just keep your ankles strong and your toes flexed. Soften your face, your jaw, your neck, your shoulders. And move towards sensation. Let yourself be in sensation, even if it's uncomfortable. Take a couple more rounds. You can exhale out your mouth if you want. Rise back up to your hands. Bring your right foot back to midline. frame your right foot with your hands. Tuck your back toes and lift your back knee. Step your back foot in about a foot or so for pyramid pose. So I like my feet on 2 train tracks with all 10 toes facing forward. Some people prefer their feet on a balance beam with a slight angle in their back foot, so it's up to you. Inhale to a halfway lift and bring your hands to your hips. Try to really lengthen through your spine, crown of your head reaches forward. Now bring a bend into your right knee just for a moment and re-straighten your right leg by lifting your right sit bone up and actively pressing the top of your right thigh back. So you want your right quad to fire. Keep that. You can stay here or keep that and start to work into a fold. Belly, ribs, then chest gets closer to your front leg. You can keep your hands on your hips and really use your right hand to pull your right hip or push your right hip towards the back of your mat and up towards the ceiling. Or you can bring your hands to the ground. If you have a lot of mobility through your hamstrings and you want something deeper, spin your fingers to face towards the back of your mat and then start to crawl your hands towards the back of your mat. Think forehead towards your shin. So find your own personal edge and then just be there and breathe into it. Take about 3 more deep breaths. Each time you exhale, pull your belly button in and up. See if you can dive a little further. End of your next exhalation. Fingertips to the ground if they're not there already, so bend your front knee if necessary. Walk your fingertips forward and float your back leg to the sky just for a moment. So standing split, spread your left toes, big huge inhale. Exhale, left knee to your nose, balance on your right foot and curl in. Inhale, re-extend your left leg, reach your left foot to the back of your mat, low lunge, so set your left toes down. Now bring both of your hands over to the left side of your mat for a wide-legged forward fold. So parallel your feet, both legs nice and straight. Inhale to a halfway lift, and exhale, fold. About 5 deep breaths. You're welcome to hold and breathe, or you can explore with whatever movement is calling to you. Wherever you choose to go, just make sure your breath is right there with you. Try to keep the weight nice and even through both of your feet. And if you're working your fold and holding, think of moving your inner thighs back wide and apart so your sit bones broaden, your low back lengthens. Take about 2 more rounds. Next time you inhale, halfway lift, fingertips on the ground. Spider crawl your hands to the top of your mat, lunge position. And then step your front foot back, plank or modified plank. Inhale at the top, exhale slowly lower, strong arms, strong belly. Inhale, baby cobra. Use your back strength. Exhale, let it go. Spider-Man cobra up on your fingertips. Inhale to lift. Tone through your low belly. Exhale, lower. 1 more back bend. This one's your choice. Inhale, lift up, open up. Exhale, release. Meet you back in downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg to the sky. Exhale, step your left foot to the top of your mat. Bring your back knee down softly. So again, if you need extra cushion, fold over the side of your mat or grab a blanket or a pillow, place it underneath your back knee, hands up to your front thigh. Walk your front foot forward a couple of inches and then start to lean forward like you want to sit your left butt cheek on your left heel.
And at the same time, think of pressing your left heel down and pulling it back and up towards your left butt cheek. So allow your hips to get closer to the earth. Keep your low belly toned, your chest lifted. You can stay here with your hands pressing into your front thigh or reach your arms to the sky, Anjaneyasana. Only if you would like more, option to bring your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers. Switch them to one finger over so it's your non-habitual way of clasping. Shoulders back and down, shoulder blades hug toward your spine, stay here or reach back. Lift your chest up towards your chin, start to take your throat back, reach your knuckles down, low abdominal stays strong so you don't want to feel it in your low back. About 3 more breaths. If you can't breathe big and freely, then take a step back. One last round. If you have your hands clasped behind you, next time you breathe in, arms to the sky. Exhale, hands to the earth inside your left foot. Walk your left foot out wide and maybe even slightly forward. Spin your left toes slightly out to the left. Start to lower your upper body closer to the ground, but make sure you don't just lean over to the right to do it. So if you bring your forearms down, left forearm comes down first, and keep most of your weight over to the left. Like I said before, I like to bring my left forearm down and stay lifted on my right fingertips and use that as gentle leverage. You can flex your left toes and roll onto the outside of your left foot if you would like. Keep your ankles strong. Keep breathing. Settle more with each exhale. Take about 2 or 3 more rounds. Maybe your last exhale is a big sigh out your mouth. And then start to lift back up to your hands. Walk your left foot back to midline so you're framing it. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, and then step your back foot forward just a foot or so for pyramid. Feet onto train tracks or on a balance beam, it's up to you. Halfway lift, breathe in. Now pause right here, spine should be parallel to the ground. Bend your left knee, but keep some weight back in your right foot. Try to re-straighten, sorry, I forgot to tell you, bring your hands to your hips. Re-straighten your left leg by lifting your left sit bone up and actively pressing the top of your right thigh back, or the top of your left thigh back so your quad engages. So you want to feel strength in the front of your left leg and then stretch in the back. Stay here if it feels like enough, or slowly work into your fold. Hands can come to blocks or the ground. You can also keep your hands on your hips. If you have lots of mobility in your hamstrings and you want more, spin your fingers to face the back of your mat and start to crawl your hands back. Think forehead towards your shin. Stay rooted through the big toe mound of both feet. Stay rooted through the little toe mound of both feet, through your inner and outer heel. Take about 3 more deep breaths, and each time you exhale, draw your belly button in and up. Dive deeper, fold further. So use your breath and even use your intrinsic strength to create more space, to create more mobility. End of your next exhalation. Fingertips to the ground if they're not there already. So bend your front knee if you need to. Standing splits. Crawl your hands forward, float your back leg up. We won't hold this very long. Spread your right toes. Big inhale. Exhale, right knee to your nose. Stay balanced on your left foot. Curl in. Inhale, re-extend, right leg high. And then reach your right toes to the back of your mat. Set your right toes down. Lunge position into your wide-legged straddle position. So hands over to the right side of your mat.
Parallel your feet, both legs straight. Inhale to a halfway lift. And exhale, bow, fold in. 5 breaths wherever you want to take it, so feel free to explore. Feel free to be still. Just make sure your breath is right there with you. Take a couple more rounds. Next time you breathe in, halfway lift, fingertips on the ground. Crawl your hands to the top of your mat, rotate your toes to face forward, lunge, and then plank or modified plank. Step back. Take an inhale at the top to prepare. Exhale, lower slowly. Our little back bend series, baby Cobra. Breathe in. Exhale, release. Spider-Man Cobra up on your fingertips. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. One more back bend, your choice, your variation. Inhale, open. Exhale, let it go. Downward facing dog. Inhale, take your right leg to the sky. Exhale, peel your right hip open, bend your right knee. Stay here, or if you would like, option to flip your dog, nice and easy. Wherever you're at, 2 or 3 deep breaths. So if you're in just down dog with your right hip open, perfect. If you're in your back bend, heart lifts, hips lift, breathe into your belly. Take one more round. 3-legged down dog, right leg to the sky. Everybody stretch and lengthen, breathe in. Exhale, pigeon pose, right shin to the top of your mat. Set your body down gently. Find your form, your alignment by pulling your front hip back and your back hip forward. Tone your low belly so you don't feel it in your low back. And when you're ready, bow forward, humble pigeon. Breathe. See if you can notice where you tense up, where you resist, without even noticing. Just by bringing your awareness to those spaces, maybe you start to soften and relax and release just a little bit more. You want to take it deeper, scoot your back knee back further. Take about 5 more rounds of breath. Soften with your exhales. Last couple rounds. Exhale out your mouth if you'd like. Slowly start to lift your upper body. However you want to get there, downward facing dog. So I'm going to take a 3-legged dog, right leg to the sky, gently shake it out. And then eventually set my right foot down and just walk it out. If you want to move through a vinyasa, you're welcome to do so. Otherwise, down dog and just pedal it out. Notice the difference between right side and left. Next time you breathe in, left leg high. Exhale, peel your left hip open, bend your left knee, and stack left hip on top of right. Stay here and breathe here. You can get so much out of being right here. Option to flip your dog, left tip toes come down behind you. Turn your heart, turn your hips to face the sky. Reach forward or maybe left hand behind your head. Think heart forward and up, breathe down into your belly. Take one more big, huge breath, your fullest expression. And then come back, three-legged down dog, left leg extended. Everybody breathe in and lengthen. Exhale, pigeon, nice and easy. Left shin to the top of your mat. Left knee is wider than your left hip rather than in line with your left hip. Pull front hip back, back hip forward so you hug towards midline. Little tone through your low belly so you're not bumping into your low back. And then when you're ready, bow forward. And I should have mentioned this before, but hopefully you know you can take this pose on your back instead if it will serve you better there. And even as you bow forward, think of dragging your left hip towards the back of your mat. And if you want to go deeper at any time, scoot your back knee back a little further. Breathe. Soften through your face. Relax your jaw, soften your forehead. Take about 5 more slow, deep breaths and allow yourself to soften 5 more %. So what would that feel like inside your body? Maybe it's an energetic softening, an energetic letting go. And the last couple rounds, perhaps your exhale comes out your mouth. When you feel pretty much even on both sides with your pigeon pose, however you want to get there, downward facing dog. So again, I'm going to move into a 3-legged dog. Left leg extends up and back, gentle shake out. And then eventually left foot to the ground, walk it out, pedal it out. Stretch into all the space you've created. Next time you breathe in, come forward to plank or modified plank. So feel free to set your knees down. I'm going to set my knees down. Exhale, slowly lower, chaturanga. One more time through our back bend series. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, let it go. Spider-Man cobra up on your fingertips, elbows face straight up. Lift, breathe in. Exhale, release. One more back bend, your choice. Inhale, lift and open. Exhale, lower to your belly. And just turn over so you're on your back. You'll probably have to kind of scoot back to the center of your mat. Your head will be facing towards the front of your mat, feet towards the back. Take a full body stretch. Pull yourself apart. Imagine you're made of taffy and somebody's pulling on your wrist, pulling on your ankles, just stretching you out. One more big inhale. Exhale, draw your knees in. Rock gently from side to side. Let both of your knees fall heavy over to the right. Reach your left arm out to the left. Gaze up or over your left shoulder. Supine twist. Adjust your hips if you need to. Take a different variation if you want to. Breathe into your belly. And with your next exhale, switch to the other side. So bring your knees through center, neutralize your pelvis with a little rock side to side or big squeeze of your knees in, and then let your knees fall over to the left. Right arm reaches out to the right. Gaze up or over your right shoulder, breathe. Take one more big deep breath. Exhale all the way to empty. And then come back to center, happy baby pose. Soles of your feet towards the sky. Neutral spine. Flex your toes. You can rock a little bit or explore a little bit if you'd like. Stay here for as long as you want to. If there are any more poses or stretches or movements that you want to take to complete your own practice, give yourself a few breaths to do so. And then as you're ready, just begin to settle in to your final relaxation. Either the traditional corpse pose, legs extended, arms out by your sides, palms face up, or any other position that will serve you, that will allow you to relax. Sometimes I like to take this position, knees bent, feet on the ground, feet out wide, and then knees fall in. So I tend to walk with my toes turned out, external rotation. So I like to do this sometimes to just kind of balance out that action. Begin to let your breath dissipate. Begin to let all your muscles soften and your body to give into gravity. And we'll take one last falling out breath together. So next time you breathe in, fill up as big as you can. Hold in fullness. Sip in a little more. Exhale, huge sigh, let it go. And just drop into your Shavasana. And I will leave you here. You can stay here as long as you'd like. You might come back to your intention one last time to close your own practice for yourself. So take your time, allow yourself to rest. Thank you guys so much for practicing with me. Have a great rest of your day. Namaste.